till I get back. Going downtown to see a man, and I ain't got time to shake your hand. Hit that jive jack, put it in your pocket till I get back. Time and time waits for no man, and I ain't got time to shake your hand. Hit that jive jack, put it in your pocket till I get back. Going downtown to see a man, and I ain't got time to shake your hand. Hit that jive jack, put it in your pocket till I get back. Time and time waits for no man, and I ain't got time to shake your hand. Hit that jive jack, put it in your pocket till I get back. Going downtown to see a man, and I ain't got time to shake your hand. Hit that jive jack, put it in your pocket till I get back. Time and time waits for no man, and I ain't got time to shake your hand. Hit that jive jack, put it in your pocket till I get back. Going downtown to see a man, and I ain't got time to shake your hand. Hit that jive jack, put it in your pocket till I get back. Time and time waits for no man, and I ain't got time to shake your hand. Hit that jive jack, put it in your pocket till I get back. Going downtown to see a man, and I ain't got time to shake your hand. Hit that jive jack, put it in your pocket till I get back. Time and time waits for no man, and I ain't got time to shake your hand. Hit that jive jack, put it in your pocket till I get back. Going downtown to see a man, and I ain't got time to shake your hand. Hit that jive jack, put it in your pocket till I get back. Time and time waits for no man, and I ain't got time to shake your hand. Hit that jive jack, put it in your pocket till I get back. Going downtown to see a man, and I ain't got time to shake your hand. Hit that jive jack, put it in your pocket till I get back. Time and time waits for no man, and I ain't got time to shake your hand. Hit that jive jack, put it in your pocket till I get back. Going downtown to see a man, and I ain't got time to shake your hand.
Radiant team ban.
All right, hello and welcome everybody to the JDL Season 8 South America Division 2.1 Santos Dexterity versus T-Show
10
tonight.
seconds remaining.
We are casting new metamedia. I am Sub-Zero,
5
and casting with me
seconds
tonight
remaining.
is 71 again. How are you doing tonight, 71?
I'm doing very well. How are you, sir?
Reserve
You know,
time.
doing pretty good. Had a little bit of spaghetti and meatballs, and ready to cast another great series of Dota tonight.
Excellent. I got myself a late night cup of coffee, and I got some soup on the oven.
Soup on the oven. What kind of soup?
Bacon and black bean with some orzo pasta.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'd like to have some of that myself. But enough about food tonight. We're talking about Dota. And two teams matching up together here in the start of Season 8.
Radiant team
Both
back.
teams coming in actually 2-0. So one team tonight is going to feel the wrath, unless they do a split decision. But other than that, you know,
So
should be an
this is
interesting
a
matchup.
best of two
Best of
with
two.
points.
10 seconds
Best of two, yeah.
remaining.
They just go by wins of games for the
5
JDL.
seconds remaining.
And, let's get underway here. T-Show versus Santos Dexterity. Doom being banned,
Dire
no
team
surprise
back.
there. Same with the Shadow Fiend as well. That's something that we've seen pretty much all the time. I looked up actually today's 71. Doom will be updated here during the next patch after the Nanyang Championship
10 seconds.
into the next version. So
I thought he was already updated with. I thought we were in 6.85b, but
no,
Oh,
not
is that
until
just
the
a
championship.
preview?
Not until the
Radiant
championship.
team
Yeah, it was a preview. But once that happens, his Doom won't do extra damage with the Scepter upgrade. Couple other things.
Dire
Also with
team
Broodmother is going to be cut down a little bit. So I'm gonna imagine that you won't see the Doom being banned out as much or picked up even.
and we got a Lich ban second round. That's a little odd to me. He's a strong hero. He's a strong support hero, and being able to cast Frost Armor and Towers is really good. But I don't know if he's quite deserving of a second ban. So I'm not sure what that ban is. Is this going to be like a first pick Meepo, you think? And that's why they got rid of
10
him?
seconds remaining.
Yeah, they might just want to be zone out that kind of
5
hero in the
seconds
ban
remaining.
phase. I don't know, like Meepo has been picked up quite a bit in the pro scene lately. I haven't looked at T-Show's drafts lately, but I mean, it's
Dire
definitely
team
possible. Queen of Pain being picked up first by them. She can kind of go anywhere now. She has actually been rotated to the safe lane quite a bit lately as well, so you could see a Meepo mid, and that's why they're getting rid of both the Shadow Fiend and the Lich. It's a little, interesting. I don't think that's exactly what they pick, but, you never know.
Is a bit, yeah, the Lich is a bit odd, but snatching up the Queen of Pain is she's a strong hero, and I think so that was a good pickup for T-Show. I don't know if they have a particular good Queen of Pain player. It looks like the last game they had, they drafted
back.
Queen of Pain, and they won, so.
Dire team back.
And an Ember Spirit, oh my, okay.
Yeah, so they're definitely dealing a lot of damage here for T-Show. On side of SD here, Slardar and Winter Wyvern being picked up, so
Radiant team
do have the minus armor lock. We've seen Slardar being picked quite a bit lately, and Winter Wyvern's probably one of the top
Dire
supports
team
during this
back.
patch. She has been for the last couple, actually. We did see her a lot in the last couple tournaments, but definitely a good kind of combo here if they want to lane it together, even if they don't. Wyvern's just such a strong lane presence basically anywhere she goes. She's pretty good on the rotation as well,
10
throwing out the
seconds
Arctic Burn
remaining.
and kind of just, roaming around the map to secure kills or kind of push back lanes.
5 seconds
Yeah, and Ember can be
remaining.
very dangerous. You have to keep him down, but once he gets his ult, it's really hard to
Reserve
gank him, and
time.
he can get really mobile. He gets the
team
early.
pick.
If he can get an early Battle Fury into BOTs, he's just going to be all over the map.
Yeah, and they've banned out those kind of heroes that can kind of counter them to be all over the map. Obviously, Spirit Breaker now gone. And Shadow Fiend, even though it's the first ban, it could be in the kind of their collective of bans that they've already got this planned out strategy for T-Show, and they might just kind of be knocking off heroes one after the other, because Shadow Fiend does go for TP boots quite early that I've seen lately. So
10
these are kind of heroes that are
seconds
pretty
remaining.
quick to the jump to keep down that Ember Spirit, make sure that he can't
5
secure that
seconds
farm of his
remaining.
own, or kind of snowball into that good carry, whether it is mid game or late game. So they've done a pretty good job here banning out for T-Show. As for Santos, I mean, there's a lot of initiation being banned out, and they've got a lot of it. When they get that blink on Slardar coming online, that's going to be pretty strong. Now they have a Wind Ranger, which is, she's not the most mobile hero, but she gets in a little quick win run, throws out a shackle. All of a sudden, the team fight can swing pretty drastically. So definitely good pickup here for Santos.
Yeah, Wind Ranger is a really strong hero. I like her a lot. Force Staff Blink gives her that mobility she needs if she needs it. Wind Run to escape. It's quite strong.
Yeah,
Powerful hero.
Very much so. Undying being picked up
10
for T-Show, so it's kind of
remaining.
picked straight into the Wind Ranger. She can focus fire the
5
Tombstone,
seconds remaining.
right? And I'm not being crazy.
I think she can.
Yeah, so kind of an
Reserve
interesting pick.
time.
Like I said before, T-Show might have this kind of lineup already planned out
Radiant
perfectly the way they
team
want
pick.
it. So, Undying's still a strong hero, and now in combination with Disruptor,
Dire
they have a
team
lot of good
back.
ultimates coming out here for T-Show.
Yeah, it's going to be a big, explosive team fight. If Disruptor can lock some people down, Undying can throw down the Tombstone, Queen of Pain gets her Scream, and Ember Spirit will be jumping around getting a Sleight of Fist. He'll be hitting each individual hero as they're taking
10 seconds
a fair
remaining.
amount of damage from Disruptor, Undying, Queen of Pain. He'll probably be able to get up a lot of
5
last
seconds
hits.
remaining.
But on the flip side of that, we have Winter Wyvern, who can disrupt the entire team fight with the Winter's Curse, and Gyrocopter
Reserve time.
throwing down Call Down on top of that. So I think the name of the game is going to be initiation and positioning. I think that's going to be the deciding factor of these team fights.
Yeah, for sure. And let's talk about lanes here for a second. T-Show, obviously, they're going to have some good harass. Queen of Pain with her dagger. Ember's usually pretty okay once he throws up the flame. And then you have the Undying and Disruptor, which is pretty much a harass combo right there. Even if they don't lane together, it's still pretty good secure farm for whatever carry you're at. Where do you think they're going to go here?
Lane-wise?
Yeah, lane-wise.
Lane-wise, I think we'll either see the Wind Ranger or Gyrocopter mid. I think it'll probably be a safe lane gyro though, since that's the easier way to keep him protected, and you can usually get a pretty sweet offlane kill if you want. I think Undying and Disruptor might be aggro tri-laning with either the Queen of Pain or this third pickup they get. They could leave Ember solo in the safe lane, but that's dangerous. He can definitely get killed down there. He doesn't have that mobility until level 6 when he could throw out his Fire Remnants and blink to them. So not sure. The aggro try would be really nasty with Undying a Disruptor and whoever they pick up next, though.
Yeah, that seems like good early first kills for the pickup. As you're talking about, if the gyro does go safe lane, I think, yeah, that aggressive tri lane could definitely take place. However, if the Slardar is going to take out that lane, that kind of screws everything up. It's like the Tombstone with the Kinetic Field. It's pretty strong, but if it's a Slardar coming in, once he throws down the bash, you're kind of screwed. You don't really have any response to that after the stun. So
well, I think it's the glimpse into Tombstone. So you throw down the Tombstone, and if Slardar tries to run away, you glimpse him, and he's already been taking damage from the zombies. But
that's true.
We'll see. There's always different ways that this can kind of play out. It all depends. If he sprints and he's taking even more damage, and then you glimpse him back to the Tombstone, that's even worse. Like that's no fun.
Bane being picked up for SD. That's an interesting pick. I haven't seen a Bane in a little while, and now they definitely have some secure lockdown. Bane and Slardar are obviously a good traditional hero combo that we've seen from days of past and many patches before. Usually in combination with the Mirana, but Slardar and Bane by themselves is still pretty strong. So that should be a pretty good combo. I think they'll definitely run that one together. Could secure a lot of farm for the Slardar, really having a Bane harass them out, as well as possible early kills.
Yeah, Bane could go off lane with Slardar as well and keep throwing down Enfeeble. Is it Enfeeblement? Or Enfeeble on the Ember Spirit, so you can't get last hits. And there's Phoenix, so T-Show going really hard on the big AoE team fight. And Santos Dexterity, I think every one of their heroes has a stun, like some kind of lockdown, which is really strong.
Yeah, for sure. And I like the Phoenix pickup, actually. That really is a kind of a good combination hero, especially with the Undying and Disruptor. That's a lot of great team fight that they can get off. And I mean, they do have the Wind Ranger we talked about before with the Tombstone, but that's kind of making her choose between the egg or the Tombstone themselves. So definitely a lot of good combination of team fight here. And a lot of lockdown on both teams, actually.
I never thought about this, but I know you can't, but what if you could glimpse your teammates? That'd be interesting.
Be pretty strong, but
kind of like X marks the spot for Queencraft.
That would be really good in the pro scene, but God, that would be... I don't know if that's how that happened in extreme abuse in pub games.
Yeah, extreme abuse.
Alright, let's get into this one. And because of flag cameraman, I can't click heroes. Oh, no, it works. Oh, thank God. No, it's not.
Winter Wyvern?
No.
Wind Ranger?
Nope, it's you. Yeah.
I'm sorry, buddy. I'll do my best.
Alright, well, whatever. So, okay, we'll try and guess this one here. You want to introduce heroes since you got the...
Sure, I will do Dex S. On the Wind Ranger, we have Sono. On the Gyrocopter, we have 442 Razor. On the Winter Wyvern, we have Marco Ruiz. And on the we have Oi. And then over in the off lane, securing himself some vision spots, we have Loverboy on the Slardar. Would you like me to do the other team as well, just cuz?
Yes, please.
All right. On the Phoenix, we have Kingrid. On the Queen of... We have Dunha. Cafu right next to him, holding hands on the Undying. Disruptor, that fabulous Orc Thunderman riding a Raptor, is ZY. And last but not least, we have Therence on the Flaming Ember Spirit. And it looks like we might have a little action top bounty. Both of them want to secure, so it's a 4-on-4 up here.
Hopefully we'll be able to fix that during next match. Anyway, as you said, could be a little early skirmish here.
Battle begins.
Both teams wanting to jump on this. Kinetic Field going out to secure against Wind Ranger as well as the Bane, but it will be the Queen of Pain picking up the Bounty Rune. The Shackle does go out, and this will be first blood here for the Wind Ranger on top of the Queen of Pain. Oi running pretty low here from the Icarus dive, but he should be okay, should be fine to get back. Cafu throwing out yet another Steel Strength here, but I think everything's going to pan out just fine. Ember picking up that rune down on bottom, so all in all, pretty good trade here.
That was an excellent shackle.
Definitely a really good shackle. Did she pick up Blink early on?
Queen? I do not know. I'll look at her for you. Yep, she picked up Blink.
So, yeah, definitely a good shackle before she could get away.
Bottom lane looks like Ember's taking quite a bit of harass from Loverboy. The crush comes out. He's going to get in a couple of right clicks. Can he take him down? Nope.
Should be okay, but has thrown down that Observer Ward, so he's got a ton of vision here, and nobody's really rotated in yet. Just the Disruptor here, pulling some camps for the time being. Should be able to pull off a double pull, but yeah, as we were talking about, Loverboy doing a pretty good job here already against the Ember. He does have the salve, so he'll be just fine for the time being, but this could be a little bit of a difficult lane for him. Meanwhile, up top, it's going to be the Phoenix alongside with Cafu on the Undying. He's already found himself an Observer Ward, so a little easy 50 gold for him. Good pickup there. But it will be the tri-lane running up against them up top. How do you think this is going to square off?
So this is a try on 2. I mean, Undying will want to be doing all these double strength steals with Decay, but Bane and Winter Wyvern can definitely harass him out. It's not difficult. They're both really good harassers, and once Winter Wyvern decides she wants to get the Splintering Blast, I think she's going to be harassing him a lot more. Bottom, Loverboy trading hits with Therence. I don't think he knows that Disruptor's coming in, though. And there he goes.
Ember Spear picking up that kill just in the last little minute there. So, just as we were talking about Loverboy having a decent lane to start with, it will be a return kill here for the Ember Spirit, and that's going to turn into a pretty good, comfortable lane here for him. What has he picked up there, 71? I can't quite see it.
Oh, sure. He's picked up a Mango and a Poor Man's Shield.
Just the Poor Man's Shield for now. He's going to go for the boots. So, already level 4, though. Doing quite well. I believe he's top of his team right now. Actually top of the game. So, pretty strong lane for him as Disruptor's basically been out of the picture the whole time.
And game stats-wise, for last hits and denies, Queen of Pain and Ember leading. So T-Show leading the last hits denies section. But I think Sono has her early bottle. And Dunna wants to go on her just a little bit. I think it was just to disrupt that bottle.
Yeah, just throwing out the casual dagger, disrupt the bottle, and you know, dagger is pretty much a nuisance of a skill build. It doesn't really do much later in the game except for the slow, as for damage anyway. But early on, it can be a huge harass, and it really is dominating against that the early mid lane here. Sono should be pretty okay. It's just as she's throwing it out again, it's just that nuisance as we were talking about. Meanwhile, up top. Tri-lane against this dual lane. Still not a lot going on. Cafu should have quite a comfortable time here supporting this Phoenix if that's what he actually ends up doing, but not a lot getting done here.
No items. He has just straight brown boots. He wants that speed so he can get in on that initiation, but Gyro's taking a lot of harass.
Yeah, Fire Spirit's going out. Gyro hurting pretty hard. He doesn't have a ton of XP to his name so far on this tri-lane, and you know, Wyvern and Bane not really doing a ton to help him out, as Bane does come in to steal a little bit of extra life from the Phoenix, but he's got a salve, he'll be just fine. But yeah, stealing a lot of XP from this Gyro. He's not getting a lot done as they're starting to charge in on him. Bane throwing out the Nightmare.
I think they purposely traded Nightmares there.
Tombstone coming out as well, and they might have trapped them a little bit here as Phoenix is running pretty low, so Tri-Lane might actually finally work out as he doesn't have Icarus dive yet, throws out the Fire Spirits, giving himself away, and it will be the Wyvern that finally picks up the kill here.
Yeah, they focused that Tombstone really quickly. There's only one level in it looks like.
Meanwhile, down on bottom, Shackle going off, Kinetic Field as well, and Loverboy running pretty low again. We do have the Flame Guard here up for Rents, and
TPing into a Disruptor, you're going to have a bad time.
Yep, glimpsed all the way back.
He didn't really have a choice there.
No, tried to save his own little buddy on the starter there, just didn't pan out for him. Sono actually being sent all the way back to Fountain here. She's having a pretty difficult time against this Queen of Pain. Co-op now at 25 last hits to Windrunner's 14. And, you know, she's top of the charts right now, doing quite well.
think they know that there's a ward there, or they're just calling it out? I'm not sure.
They might just be pinging it out. What do you think Dunna's going to go for here? Is this going to be an early Orchid once she finally finishes off some boots, or could be that early Ags as well?
Yeah, I think it depends. I think an early Orchid would be really strong against this lineup, especially throwing it down on Slardar while he's sprinting. That's just a butt ton of damage. Oh, I guess will it purge the sprint, or will he take stack damage?
No, he'll just get the damage at the end. It'll just amp because Orchid just burns at the end of it. But just a little extra damage. I think the Orchid would mainly help against their these supports on the side of Dexterity. Is they have a lot of lockdown from the Wyvern, the slow, as well as the Bane's Nightmare, as well as his ultimate. So
I think I would go for Orchid. I'm not much of a Queen mid player, but I would go for Orchid because the other team Dex has so much lockdown that you need to silence them, or else you are just going to get locked down when you're trying to jump on someone. So say you're jumping on, like, I don't know, Disruptor. He's just going to glimpse you back. Winter Wyvern is going to freeze you. Gyro is going to either call down or try to flat cannon you. Bane will just nightmare you or for Fiend's Grip you. So it's going to be hard for her to go toe-to-toe with any of these heroes.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong in that. Orchid probably going to be the best pickup here, as you said. They do have so much lockdown, as well as Quap, kind of that early game hero that you want to have her get on a good jump start there, so that she can kind of snowball into pretty solid team fights, start building up other items as well once she gets those early kills. And she does rotate up top here, wanting to go on Marco, has the double damage activated as well, but not going to get a lot done as she throws out the Scream, and that's basically it. Oi going to be rotating in as well.
Excellent reflexes from the Winter Wyvern. Yeah, that was very short notice. Got out really fast.
Down on bottom again. Crush going out from Loverboy. Uses the sprint, but Ember's hit his 6, and he's going to go deep here on Loverboy. Throws it out again, and that will be yet another kill here. Killing spree on Therence.
Therence just managed to dodge the Nightmare from Oi. He disjointed it with his Fire Spirits. I don't know if he meant to on purpose or if it was just a happy luck. But he definitely wanted a Remnant on top of him. Either way, good play.
Slardar not having the best of time down here. Does have 21 last hits to his name, but that's, I believe the third time he's gone down, yeah.
And I think, this was stacked before, but I don't know why it wasn't. Was it taken by the creeps? It's very odd. Ember's got his ult, so it's going to be much, much harder to kill him. He's going to be able to go back to base whenever he wants, almost. Just throwing down remnants, switching back and forth if he wants. And now he's got an invis.
Now he's got smoked up, actually.
Okay.
So they're waiting for yet another kill here on Loverboy, and they're pretty far ahead. Ember here with 3-0. Meanwhile on top, Tombstone being thrown out. 442 is running pretty low. Tombstone finally dropping, and it's just the Phoenix here caught in the blast. And Gyro just not enough there. Last little bit of health points. And Cafu's kind of stuck in the woods here. Can't pick up that extra kill. So just the Phoenix falling down. As they did TP in time.
Getting glimpsed at the bottom right in front of tower. Therence just right-clicking him down, even though he had to amplify damage on him. Good communication between Therence and Zai. Or Z. I don't know how to say that.
Yeah, this Ember Spirit is having quite a comfortable time here. Now he has that double damage activated to pick up that kill as well. He's level 8. 4 kills to his name. Sitting with his ring already online, has enough gold here, getting pretty close to be able to finish those phase boots if he wants them. Might even go to TP boots, actually.
Not that close to Battle Fury, though. He still has no components for Battle Fury, so that's something to consider. He went for early Aquila and Poor Man's Shield, so he went for early stats items instead of investing in earlier Battle Fury. Wyvern is trying to dodge some people here top by the tower, but is going to take that pure damage from Queen of Pain on the Scream, and she blinks out. Let's see if she can get out of here. Amplify damage is on her, so they can see her, but 7 seconds on her blink. Looks like she's supporting Kingrid right now. It looks like they're okay.
Yeah, Phoenix trying to get the quick jump there to rotate top to engage there with Quap, but she's able to pick up the solo kill by herself, and it's going to be pretty good for Dunna, as she's, she's built up a little bit of farm on mid, still sitting top of the board, even though she's rotating around town now, so pretty good for this Quap early game.
Sono's been pretty quiet, too. She hasn't really been participating in anything. I think she's just a little bit behind on the mid farm. Just doesn't quite have the items she wants yet. Whereas Queen already has a Robe of the Magi, she's probably working towards that Orchid. I mean, Robe of the Magi isn't like the biggest item ever. It doesn't even cost that much, but just looking at the last hits and denies, she's double ahead of Windranger. So
Dire's
she's
middle
probably
tower is
feeling
under
much more
attack.
comfortable.
Yeah, let's take a look at net worth right now. Quap obviously ahead of the game here, 4,300. Ember right next close at 4K. And as we're talking about Sono on the Windranger, 3,500 only to her name. She's had an okay time farming now that the Quap has been rotating around, but still, just definitely not enough coming on mine yet.
Yeah, Therence and Karu, Undying, and Ember Spirit just waiting in this mid lane to go on her, but her Spidey senses are tingling and she's going to get out of there.
Yeah, TP coming out here.
Dire's middle
It
tower
will be the
is
Werver
under
and
attack.
Marco rotating in, and
Radiant's
Therence actually just
bottom
wants to go
tower
deep
is
on him.
under
Golden Embrace
attack.
coming out just to save his life. And it looks like they're just going to
Dire's
hold him off to try and take this
structures are
tower as quickly as possible. Call down coming up from the Gyro. Shackle on to Quap's own illusion as Therence running pretty low. Disruptor throwing out the spirit. Oh god, this is just going to be a
Static
disaster
Storm.
for them. Static Storm, thank you. Tombstone going out as well. Shackle being thrown out, but only hits Dunna for a split second as Sono dropping pretty low here from the Phoenix as well as the Ember. And Oi pretty much in the back, not able to throw anything out as she's pretty low on mana. And that's going to be a 3-0 exchange here for T-Show.
These Fire
Dire's
Spirits have been
middle
on
tower
point
has
from
fallen.
Phoenix. What's that? Kingrid. They are really hard to aim properly, and he has been doing a great job really keeping Gyrocopter fired up so that he can't attack as much. Because if you just, how much attack speed do they reduce? Yeah, attack speed slow right now, 120. So if he just keeps Gyro slowed on his attack speed, that split shot becomes way less effective in the team fights.
Yeah, this Phoenix pickup was probably one of their most solid pickups, to be honest. Like, Ember right now, current meta, is pretty strong. He is winning most of his games. He does a lot of damage. Obviously, you see it a lot in the pro scene. Quap also a great pickup, but really this Phoenix, count on that egg coming in here pretty quick too, because that's going to change a lot of team
Dire's
fights.
bottom tower
Other than the
is under
focus fire, they
attack.
don't have a lot to lock that down until Gyro has some farm, but with exchanges like that, he's not going to get a lot of it, so definitely a great pickup here for Kingrid.
And you have to decide what you're going on. There's just going to be these huge AoE
Radiant's
ultimates.
middle
You got
tower
Phoenix
is
Egg,
under
you got
attack.
Static Storm, and you have
Dire's
the
structures
Tombstone.
are
I was going to say
fortified.
Graveyard. And you have to decide what you go on and what
Dire's
you do, and
bottom
it's
tower
difficult.
is under attack.
Marco glimpsed right back into the Static Storm. He's going to be falling down here. Will be Disruptor finally picking up that kill, and
Yeah, none of his teammates there to really help him. He's just kind of on his own, which is unfortunate. Windranger is down. Actually,
Dire's
Windranger just
top
fell,
tower
didn't he?
yeah,
under
Ember
attack.
Spirit just picked up that kill on the Windranger, so yet another kill for him. He's sitting at 5-0-3. Ember Spirit,
It's
pretty
looking
strong.
like T-Show is looking to maybe 5-man. They're going to start like really rolling as 4 or 5. And Dex really needs to farm, so they're going to have to decide. They're going to have to either play defensively or
Dire's top tower
decide to
has
pick their battles. They're going to have to give up towers here and there, as they just gave up tier 1 top. So they really need to reevaluate what they want to do. Like, how much farm should we be getting? What should we be doing? When do we engage? When do we avoid? They're a little bit on the back foot.
Yeah. Meanwhile, while we're talking about it, take a look at XP right now. Already about a 7K lead here for T-Show. Net worth already about
Gyro
8K.
might fall again. Yep, he's gonna fall in his own jungle to Static Storm and Phoenix.
Dire's top
Shackle
tower
being
is
thrown
under
out on Cafu as well as the Nightmare. Oi diving into the whole team. Egg being expended here. Not really anybody really near close by. Sono taking a little bit of time here. Damage. Loverboy being glimpsed right back into a kinetic field. This will be another death for him. Ember Spear picking up that one, and this is kind of getting out of control as Marco jumped on as well. That'll be a 4-0 exchange, and
This is getting sad for Dex. Unfortunately, it's the lockdown and control and team fight from T-Show is just amazing. The glimpses, the Static Storm, the crushes, excuse me, the Phoenix Egg, the Tombstone, the Strength Steel. They just it's
Dire's
all on
middle
point.
tower is under attack.
And I mean, what kind of comeback are you going to get here? There's not a lot they can do. They pretty much invaded their whole jungle here for T-Show.
Bane
And
needs a strong initiation item. He needs a Blink Dagger or Force Staff or something. It looks like Ember is just going to jump on Windranger and Gyro, but he might fall because of this. Scream comes out to save him. Big Scream. Still might get Sono. Nope, just miss him.
Sono able to TP out. Dunna getting gone on hard here, but the Static Storm does come out yet again. This Disruptor's just on point. Bane finally finishing off that killing streak with Quap. And Loverboy's got to be careful here. As Theron's coming right back in, manages to get the Shackle on 2. But Loverboy should be able to sprint to safety here, as well as the Bane. Both of them running pretty low. Therence might actually try to chase this. Still has Fire Remnants on hand. Glimpse being tossed back on Marco. To no avail.
He guessed that he had just TP'd in.
Sono getting off a beautiful shackle shot here.
Captured in the flame.
Good shackle, or excuse me, good bolos. Chains, whatever.
These exchanges, I mean, they do finally pick up a quap there. Great kill by them, but other than that, they're kind of running a little bit scared. They just managed to get that quap because 3 of them locked her down on high ground before anybody really got there. So, just a little bit of a misplay here from the quap, but other than that, Dex having a little bit of a tough time getting things done, as quap does jump right back in. She now has acquired the Orchid. That'll be a kill on the Phoenix, actually, here, taking down Sono on the Wind Ranger. And they might just look to push T2 here.
Yeah, I was talking about how I thought Dex had an advantage because of their lockdown, but it's just not working out. It seems like T-Show's mobility and also their lockdown from Disruptor is just too strong. Like, look, it's just Glimpse and Dex. You can't run. Like, I think Dex needs to decide to fight. They don't get to choose whether they fight or not anymore. They don't get to disengage, unfortunately. Disruptor's just making huge plays while they're trying to disengage by glimpsing them back to the team and killing them.
Yeah, a lot of mobility here for T-Show. Obviously, Quap with the Blink, Icarus Dive coming from the Phoenix, Ember Spirit is just jumping around the map. And those glimpses are pretty much just been on point, as well as with the Static Storm from Zai. And it's been pretty hard for him. Going out again, there's another Static Storm, and Gyro not able to get off the call down. Egg being expended as well, so they can't even come in to save him, even if they wanted to. And Loverboy sitting in the trees does not want to go in. Shackle Shot going on Therence, as well as the Bane ult. Scream being used by Dunna, and they're just going to look to disengage. Icarus Dive goes out. Wyvern does get... throws down the ultimate. Oh god, no. Yet another glimpse here to send Gyro all the way back. Throws up the call down. Shackle Shot does hit on Cafu as well as Zai. T-Show needs to be careful here. They're falling pretty low. Kinetic Field to save them, as Undying does finally pick up the kill on the Gyrocopter. I think that was a buyback for him, was it not?
From whom?
From the Gyro. I think he bought back to come all the way back in the team fight.
I think that was a better exchange for Dex than they'd been normally getting. I think they're finally realizing that they need to back up their teammates.
That dieback, though.
They need to back up their teammates when someone gets glimpsed and gone on. Like, they have to.
Yeah. Huge dieback, though, from Gyro. The gold that they did pick up is actually kind of lost in an exchange there, as they do make a little bit of room for themselves, but from that buyback, now they've secured a 12k net worth lead here for T-Show, so sitting quite comfortable in front of Dex. Meanwhile in mid, Orchid going out on Oi. Dunna's going to chase this one down. Maybe one more Scream. Golden Embrace coming out to save him from Marco, so good play on the supports, kind of saving each other, as Quap is just kind of looking for whatever jump she can get, and why not? She's got this sort of lead going on. Ember himself is 6-0 and 8. The Quap's 4-2 and 7, so they've had a pretty good controlling time here for these two cores. Pinging out here on this T2 mid. T-Show wants to get this done in a hurry. It's only 18 minutes in, but they're pretty far ahead of this game. 20 and 6 for the score right now, and Quap jumps on Oi, throws out the Orchid again. Doesn't look to Scream. Shackle going out, manages to get Kingguard and Dunna, as the Cold Embrace does go out.
Is under attack.
Egg going down as Ember Spirit comes back in with a Fire Remnant. Sono being shackled up, Marco being dived by Therence. And he will finally pick up the Wicked Sick here on the Wind Ranger. Storm Spirit, or Static Storm, sorry, going out again just to get the kill on the Slardar. And there's not a lot that Dex can do right now, as that's a 3-0 for T-Show, and they might look to just storm high ground at this point.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna be going high ground. Sorry, I had to step away for a minute. Had a gentleman caller at the door.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Jehovah?
Yeah. No, one of my neighbors. It's nothing. It's not important. But, you know, being a good neighborhood person, you got to respond to the neighbors.
But yeah, it looks like they're just going to start to push on high ground, as Slardar's still down for another 10 seconds, and look at Ember Spirit playing so aggressive. Therence
He still doesn't have his Battle Fury, but he has the money for it. He should really pony up that gold and buy. He's got 2200 and the Perseverance online already. I'm really surprised he's gone so like heavy team fight because they've been dominating. He hasn't really been farming at all, and he hasn't really needed the Battle Fury to farm. He's just kind of been farming heroes.
Yeah, he's 7-0-10, and both of them well ahead of the net worth. Quap and Ember sharing the lead here, and it will be actually the Phoenix up in close second. The Undying's even ahead of them.
You got an aggressive smoke coming.
Their Disruptors is ahead of 3 already here in front of Dexterity, and smoke does come out as you call. Loverboy finally with the Blink Dagger jumps on Cafu. Call down being used as well, but Kinetic Field holding them most back. I don't think they're really going to get more kills as Ember does rotate in. Static Storm going down. Loverboy falling pretty quick here as Queen of Pain finally finishes off that kill. Ember jumping forward, gets the bolus in on 2, and oh, here comes Phoenix with a beautiful egg and gets 2 kills here on the Wyvern as well as the Bane. Gem being dropped, kind of a last-ditch effort here to get some sort of vision back as Sono is jumped on yet again. That'll be a 5 wipe here for just
one man.
Just the one Undying, and now they're gonna push high ground. This is, I don't see any sort of comeback coming here from T Dexterity.
I think they're going to lose Rax here. Wind Ranger can kind of play with them, and Bane and Winter Wyvern will be back in a little bit, but this is definitely Rax if they want it. And Theron's finally bought his components for his Battle Fury, so he's got a Battle Fury coming online. He'll be able to accelerate his farm as fast as he wants.
TP's coming in. As Winter Wyvern actually throws that off, and Dunna wants to finish this Lorax. They only have the range so far. Need to be careful as Theron dodges the crush from Loverboy. I don't know, they're kind of toying with a little bit of fire here. They really want to storm this high ground, dealing a lot of damage from Therence, but the call down does come in pretty good as he manages to take out the Quap, and Winter Wyvern finally ruining that monster streak for Ember Spirit. So, playing a little too aggressive to finish off that mid-Rax, and they trade 2 of their cores for it.
He could start to... Oh, that's a lockdown on Phoenix.
Kinetic Field going out on Sono, and Icarus Dive. They should be safe. But yeah, that's a little bit of life here coming from Dexterity as Melee Rax not gone down yet.
And it looks like Gyro's building into a BKB so he can just walk through into that fight and avoid all those ultimates.
Yeah, 4-2-2. Finally building that BKB as 71's talking about, and I mean, just not a lot of damage to his name at all. He does have the levels now hitting level 11. It's pretty strong, but it's just going to be really difficult for him right now. Taking a look at it, I mean, Ember Spirit's at 15 already. That's his first death. Quap at 14. Phoenix is well ahead of the farm, even on top of the Gyro by 3k, so definitely needs his team to start stacking as he's even using the call down to farm the enemy jungle, because he just needs to get some sort of lead and hope back here.
Queen could come out of nowhere here and kill him, though. We'll see if she spots him or he spots her.
Goes the other way.
Queen is building into an AC. Wow. Right-click Queen. It's not a bad combo with the Orchid. You jump on someone, you silence them, and then you just do heavy, heavy damage to them, and they have minus armor. That's a nasty, nasty combo. Blink up on Slardar. It looks like he's building into a Force Staff. He's got a Ring of Regen and a Staff of Wizardry.
Yeah, for sure.
So you might want to blink and Force Staff some people out. Probably Shiva's on Phoenix coming out. Not super soon, but sometime. Undying, he's got the mechanism. He's probably going to build those Guardian Greaves, going to make their entire team that much harder to kill.
Yeah, they're already super tanky, and they just can't really knock off any of them. They only have 9 kills here for Team Dexterity. And
they should have picked up the gem from Dex too. Yeah, Disruptor has the gem.
Kinetic Field going out just to kind of secure any sort of jump into the Rosh pit, but this should be a free Rosh. As all of them being healed up by the Phoenix, and nobody on Dex is anywhere close.
Yeah, they're none the wiser. They don't have vision here. They can't. They probably couldn't deal with it even if they wanted to, unfortunately.
No. Quap picking up the Aegis is, you know, she's died a little bit more in the Ember, so secure that extra life, and she'll be able to come back just fine. She does finish off the AC, as you were talking about, so she didn't even go eggs this game, and they're well ahead. So she still has a lot of damage to come from her ultimate if she wants it.
That being said, Gyro is coming back in the last of his department. He is up to 119 now. He's passed up the Ember by a little bit. Ember can definitely catch up with the Battle Fury farm, but I mean, he's pulling his weight a little bit more, so he could come online eventually. He probably has his BKB by now. Yep, full charge BKB. He'll be able to just charge in there, call down Flat Cannon, and use, rocket barrage as well.
Glimpse going out on Sono. Not wanting to jump on them quite yet. Has everybody back here for Team Dex. Donna being healed up by the Phoenix, and they're just going to wait on the next creep wave, I think. They don't really want to storm this quite yet. It didn't work for them too great out on mid. They want to make sure they get one this time and secure it, and probably end up getting the win if they get it right. Ember Spirit picking up a Blink Dagger of his own, so even more mobility for him. And it looks like they might actually just go mid. They already have the tower down. Why not just finish off the racks here on mid? As 422, pretty far out, as he does get locked down. Throws out the BKB, and they just look to scatter here. Donna being shackled up here. The Aegis will expire pretty quick. As Embrace coming out on Kingrad. That will be him going down. No, the Phoenix ult coming out. Egg being expended. As Donna buys back. Oh no, that's just the Aegis expended. Sorry, and this will be all of them wiping down, as Sono's going to finally fall here to the Ember Spirit. And this should be the set of racks. Still 2 buybacks here for Team Dex.
That was an excellent fight on Team Dex's side. I mean, I know they came off the worst, but they really got their stuff together. The BKB really made the team fight last longer. It kept Gyro alive, which is what they needed to do. They got the Cold Embrace off at the right time. They were able to handle the Phoenix Egg. A lot of things went well for them there, even if they lost the team fight. I think they finally, even if this is the end of the game, I think they definitely finally figured out how they need to fight T-Show.
As the bottom racks falling down here, and
no buybacks from Dex either. They
kind
really
of the
want
last
that gold.
last hurrah here for Team Dex if they want to go in on this. But Theron's jumping forward just to shackle him down to keep them at bay. Loverboy throwing down the crush, not able to finish it. They haven't taken the melee racks here on bottom yet, but it might be why they're just toying here. Loverboy falling pretty low here, as that will be him going down. No buyback for 53 seconds here. BKB being used by 422. Cafu needs to be careful here. Does actually fall down to the gyrocopter, so they're able to hold on to the fence for the time being. As Orchid does go out on the Bane, he needs to be careful. He's running a little far forward as Storm coming out here on 442. Oi being shackled up here by Therence. They still haven't gone down yet. I don't know how they're holding this, but being healed up and Sono just kind of staying in the back, waiting for a good shackle, suppose. And Oi finally falling to the Ember Spirit as all of them running pretty low. Gyro falling down. He still has buyback. Shackle onto a creep. Dunna needs to be careful here. He needs to blink out as soon as possible, but he will actually fall down to the winner. No matter, nonetheless, GG being called by Team Dex.
Yeah, that was a hard game. T-Show really made some excellent team fight plays. The Disruptor definitely, I would say, the MVP of this game. Shortly followed by probably the Ember Phoenix. Disruptor making great plays, great glimpses, great lockdown. Like, he did exactly what he needed to do.
Yeah, Disruptor 2-1-18 definitely had a great game. Probably support of the game for sure. Is unfortunately for Team Dex, just not able to really get anything done, and Slardar pretty much held back for that entire time down bottom, and ends up feeding a little bit to the Ember Spirit, which ends up costing them the game. So game number 1 going to T-Show, and we'll be back with game number 2 here shortly.
I'm back, sir.
You played a cheating game. While I was playing fair, baby, you played a cheating game.
Radiant team ban. Dire team ban.
Alright, we're back here for the joinDOTA League Season 8 here. T-Show squaring up against Santos Dexterity. Game number 2. First game going to T-Show with a pretty dominating streak, actually, with the Ember Spirit and the Quap really charging straight off the bat. And, you know, Santos is going to come back with that Quap pen right away. 71, what do you think of game number 1?
That was an interesting game. I think they were caught a little off guard by the early team fight. I think they just... was it T-Show? I'm mixing up the teams now. Was it T-Show on Dire side? Or they were...
No. Santos.
No, okay. Santos was on Dire side? Yeah, I think Santos just got a little bit bowled over by the early team fight from T-Show. I'm looking at T-Show's stats right now, actually, and they have a lot of Ember matches in there.
Dire team pick.
in their games. So I think that's a staple of them to a certain degree. At least every third game, I'm seeing an Ember in there. Ember or Anti-Mage. Looks like those are their go-to carries. I'm really surprised that they did not second ban the Ember. And there it goes again.
Radiant team
T-Show
pick.
picking up yet another Ember Spirit.
Radiant
It
team
worked pretty
back.
well for them last time, having complete free farm basically down bottom. As I mean, Disruptor wasn't even there for half the
Dire
time, and he
team
still got
back.
some kills on Slardar, about 3 of them until he started rotating around
Radiant
lanes.
team
So
back.
pretty comfortable lane for him, and they managed to pick up a Darkseer as well, which
Dire
is
team
pretty
back.
strong pickup nonetheless. I mean, you throw on the Ion Shell on top with that Ember Spirit with the Flame Guard, that's a
Dire
lot of early
team
damage
pick.
coming out for both of them, and that's something that Santos Dexterity is going to have to look out for. Them picking up the Tusk and the Winter
Radiant
Wyvern
team
again.
pick.
So they do manage to pick up the Shadow Fiend as well. That was
Dire
banned out last
team
time.
pick.
So maybe a couple more comfort picks here for Santos
Lina.
Dexterity to pick up game number 2.
This is a
Radiant
quick as
team
hell
pick.
draft, sir.
Very
looks
quick
like everybody
draft.
either knows what they want to do or they want to
Dire
keep the other
team
team
back.
on the back foot.
Yeah, Undying being picked up as well as the Lina here for T-Show. And these are definitely strong heroes currently in 6.85. And they managed to pick off the Spirit Breaker here for Santos. So I think both teams really getting what they wanted, letting
10
through
seconds
quite a
remaining.
few picks here that normally would be banned out for either team, it seems.
5 seconds
Now that
remaining.
second phase of ban's gone through, they're just getting on the jump real quick. Bane being banned out just to get rid of a little bit of
Radiant
lockdown here
team
for
back.
T-Show. But
There's that second ban Lich again. I don't know what that is about.
just a comfort ban maybe for T-Show. They really
Maybe.
don't want to deal with it. I mean, Lich is a pretty strong presence in the lane to begin with. He can solo as well.
10 seconds
And you know,
remaining.
when you get a Lich that goes straight eggs early on, it's kind of annoying to line up any sort of team fight. And you know,
Dire
Santos
team
kind of drafted for that team fight early on, and they've done it again here. A little bit more of a ganky kind of build for sure with the Spirit Breaker and the Tusk, but even still, they're gonna have to rely on pretty smooth play here later on once this Ember Spirit comes online.
Yeah, we'll see if Santos goes for a 2-1-2 and then has the Spirit Breaker leave lane early and start to harass. That's how I like to play Spirit Breaker, but it's
10
different for
seconds
everyone.
remaining.
He's a really good Tusk and
Empire
Spirit Breaker are
assassin.
truly really good roaming
Radiant team
global
pick.
heroes. So, well, Tusk less global, but he roams so much. He's so good at roaming.
Yeah, for sure. And T-Show rounding out their last little 5th pick here with Templar Assassin. So gonna be switching up their mid hero for a TA of their own. And look at the damage output for T-Show. I mean, ults online here for the Lina, the Ember Spirit. Darkseer's gonna probably put out a lot of damage to the Ion Shell as well as Illusions. I mean,
10
you get an Illusion
seconds
Shadow
remaining.
Fiend. That's a lot of right-click damage.
Yep.
As well as the Undying with the Tombstone again here, as Dexterity rounds out their lineup with an answer to the Gyrocopter. And they're putting 4-4-2 right back on him again, so he didn't have really a comfortable time up top last time. Had a little bit of farm secured, but other than that, he was pretty much zoned out after, and just couldn't really come online. But
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens in this game. It's a very similar draft. I think Santos Dexterity still has that lockdown game that they did last game. I remember I was commenting on how they just had like a myriad of stuns, and they have it again, except for maybe the Shadow Fiend and a little bit on the Gyrocopter. But Tusk, Winter Wyvern, and Spirit Breaker can definitely be lifting the heavy load of stun. And on T-Show, they have a lot of right click, and they'll probably be going pretty early. How are you doing on clicking heroes, sir?
I can click. We're good to go.
Yay!
Pause coming up, so we will also introduce yet again here T-Show. On the Lina, we have Zai. We have Cafu on the Undying yet again. Dunna on the mid TA, most likely. Therence going on that Ember Spirit once again. And we have Darkseer this time being run by Kingard.
All right, and then on the side of Dex, we have Oi on the Winter Wyvern. We have Sono on the Shadow Fiend. Marco Ruiz on the Spirit Breaker. 422 Razor on the Gyrocopter. And Loverboy on the Walrus Punching Tusk.
Now, let's take a look at the drafts here. We were talking a little about it before, but Dexterity definitely picking up that sort of ganky build to begin with, and I think they're just going to try and secure Gyro a little bit more farm this time other than in Game 1. As for T-Show, pretty much picking up close to the same lineup. I mean, they got that strong tanky offlaner. They're not going to have the egg this time to do a lot of work, but other than that, I mean, Ion Shell stacked with the Ember Spirit. I was talking about that before. That's a lot of damage output. They have another pretty mobile mid as soon as she picks up her Blink Dagger, so kind of the same lineup here for T-Show.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if I Dex might even do like a tri lane to protect 422 a lot. Like it might be a solo Tusk off lane or a solo Spear Breaker off lane, and then they might go three-way safe lane for the gyro again. It didn't work out too well last time, so maybe they'll change things up, but I'm not sure on that. Sono has 2 pooled tangos, so he's going to be going for that early bottle.
And while we're paused up here, I might as well throw it out there. If you guys like the stream, go ahead and follow us on Twitch. You can also find us on Twitter. I'm at SubZeroDota, and you can find the rest of us here at NMMDota. And look forward to more casts coming in the future, either joinDOTA or any other league, and we'll try and keep you updated as much as possible. Looks like we're ready to go back here, as they should be unpausing here pretty quick right away.
I don't understand that caps lock phrase there. I don't know what that means.
What do you think the lanes are going to be here for Team Dex?
I was talking about a tri lane for the gyro, but I think they'll abandon that because it didn't work out last time. We'll see.
Mass
They have an early smoke, so they might be 6 tangos on that Spirit Breaker. I'm guessing he's going off lane. He has a smoke. I'm wondering if they're actually going to use it or if they just bought it for fun. I don't know. I think they're asking for a remake.
Could be a remake coming out of here, everybody, so hang on tight.
Caster's remake. Okay.
Looks like we're remaking. Alrighty.
Right.
Stand by, everybody. We'll catch you up here in pretty shortly.
Hold on to your butts.
This world out here is lonely and cold. This world out here is so lonely and cold. This world out here is lonely and cold. Oh, I guess I'll go back home.
And we're back here for T show against Santos, Dexterity, and JD2L. And, a little bit of a remake hiccup there, but we're finally back into the game. Intros have already commenced, but we will go over them again. Zai on the Lina, Cafu on the Undying, Kingrad on the Darkseer, Dunna on the TA, and we have Therence running the Ember Spirit again. 71, are you there to introduce Team Dexterity?
I am here.
Would you like to introduce Team Dex?
Sure. We'll go for another round around the carousel. Loverboy on the Tusk, Marco Rios on the Spirit Breaker, Sono on the Shadow Fiend, Oi on the Winter Wyvern, and 442 Razor on the Senile Gyrocopter.
Beautiful. Well done.
Yeah. Looks like we might have a little bit of an early skirmish, too, as people are starting to go out here and ward or de-ward their jungle. We might have a little bit of a fight at the bottom lane, but no, it doesn't look like it. T-Show's kind of backing off, very spread out, where Dex is very held together.
30 seconds to battle.
So, game number 1, going to T-Show, really dominated in that early game team fight. But this time Team Dex wanted to go early themselves, picking up the Spirit Breaker as well as the Tusk. And, if Sono has a pretty good lane here, that could be even an early game for Sono as well. So definitely a complete different draft coming from Dex. So should be definitely an interesting game. Trying to come back here from this one game deficit. And yeah, you might be right. We might have a little bit of a skirmish here. As looks like Dunna's going to pick up this free rune. They all back up. They have 4 here. All 4 pretty much getting back here, giving a free rune to the TA, and Ember picking up that one up top by himself as well. So
T-Show had really strong vision on that bottom rune. They could see everything that was going on down there. So that gave them a huge advantage to walk in confidently.
So it will be the Ember Spirit running solo again up top, going against the Gyrocopter. So different lane here for 442. Meanwhile, down on bottom it will be the Loverboy against Cafu and the Darkseer on Kindred. And this is going to be a really uncomfortable lane here for the Tusk. Gonna be a ton of strength steal coming out from the Cafu, and Kingrad's gonna get whatever farm he needs. They might as well just push this lane. They could probably take this tower pretty quick.
Yeah, this is a bit of a weird lane light up. Solo Tusk in the safe lane. He's going to fight against Strength Steel, and Ion Shells. Undying pulling the wave for the Tusk just so they can pressure that tower and get that jungle farm. It's really interesting.
Both these heroes pretty tanky in their own right as well. Cafu on the Undying. Gonna have a pretty fun time here with the Strength Steel from the Tusk to tank up, as well as Kingrid. Gonna be just fine here, throwing out the Ion Shell to clean up the rest of those creep, and as I was saying, they're just gonna start to push this tower. Not too much damage to begin with, but Loverboy's gonna have to be careful because they're gonna continue to pull this wave. Meanwhile, up on top, Zai has actually rotated in to help Therence with a little bit of extra farm, as Marco's kind of playing a little bit of shaky here, running through the jungle. Probably looking to ward here. Yeah, throws it down, get a little bit of extra vision.
This is really interesting in the bottom lane because I was reading a Theorycraft thread about this, why people don't pull with the Darkseer more to do this, and it looks like Tusk is going to have to defensive snowball. He defensive snowballs to the ranged creep as far away as possible, but it doesn't seem like he can deal with this. It's just a pain in the bum, man.
Ion Shell going out on Kingrid, and Loverboy just slowly ticking down as Tombstone does fall as well. Zombie coming out, just the one of them to get the slow on. Strength Steal from the Undying, and Loverboy, this could be first blood on him. Tusk throwing out the snowball. He's going to go deep here into the last little bit of a ranged creep. But there's the surge as he's going to slowly tick down, and it will be first blood going to the Darkseer on the Tusk down on bottom.
What do you do to deal with this? They're just pulling the wave. They have Ion Shells on everything. This tower is going to go down in like the next 3 minutes.
You might as well just abandon this because you're not going to be getting anything. You're going to get a little bit of XP, but they're pulling so often that he's got to just kind of jump around the map. You saw it twice there. Defensive snowball just to get away, so he's TPing in yet again, and you know they are pretty low. They don't have a lot of mana left, so this might be a decent decision for the time being. But as soon as a little bit of regen comes out, he might as well just abandon this lane because tower already under half. And, you know, they've rotated 3 up here to help the Gyro. They might as well just win a lane somewhere else. Even if Tusk goes mid to kind of aid in the Shadow Fiend, it's probably a better lane than just feeding down on bottom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, is this tri-lane getting much done? Are they zoning? I haven't been watching. Are they zoning the Ember at least?
Gyro sitting here at 12 and 6 for last hit, so not cleaning up everything. They are zoning out Therence a little bit more. Not getting the farm he definitely got in game 1, so it's working out for the time being, but no real jumps. As I mean, you've picked out a Spirit Breaker. They don't have the vision on this Observer Ward, so they can't see it coming out. Charge is going out on Therence. Bolus missing on Marco just a bit, but no extra engagement as Zai rotating in, as well as a TP from mid goes off. But like as I was saying, this Observer Ward giving a ton of good vision here. And Marco, you picked a Spirit Breaker. And he's kind of just sitting there waiting for one charge, and that's it. So, not a lot getting done.
He definitely needs to be more active.
Meanwhile, in mid, Undying rotating in as Darkseer's pretty much made a comfortable stay at home down on bottom against that Tusk. So, they're just going to secure that Sono. Can't get any more extra farm as he wants to go for that rune, but Cafu's there to defend it. Throws out the Strength Steal, and Zai is there as well. Tombstone going out, and this is 3 against 1 until the Wyvern as well as Marco rotating in, but the damage has already been done. Shadow Fiend falling rather quickly to the TA, and Oi's already kind of rotated in. Arctic Burn going out, but it's not going to be enough to get him away, and that will be a double kill here for Dunna.
The temple decreed your death.
Yeah, I don't know if they're not communicating or if they're flustered or what's going on, but that was a rough engagement.
Indeed it was. Meanwhile, down on bottom, Darkseer pushing rather hard, and you know,
Ember Spirit picks up the Gyro. Gyro picks up the Ember Spirit on the back end. So
yeah, happened up on top as both of them falling here.
Radiant's top tower is
who got the better of that one? Looks like the Ember Spirit taking him first. So
yeah.
Ember definitely getting the experience there. Darkseer
tower almost gone at the bottom.
Darkseer sitting pretty comfortable as you're talking about the tower almost gone down, so that's a ton of gold for them. But he's also top of the charts here. 32 last hits to his name as Spirit Breaker's going to charge in here from Fountain. They don't see this coming in quite yet, and Tusk is going to salve in to get ready. This could be a snowball to the Frost Shards, and Spirit Breaker's starting to charge in. They do finally see it. Ice Shards going out to block him. Tombstone coming out from the Undying. Zombies going out everywhere as Tusk throws out the snowball. Onto the range creep. And just from the 2 Iron Shells from both of them, Vacuum going out, missing on the Tusk, but eats the mango. Doesn't have a snowball up here for another 7 seconds. Charge coming in onto Kingrid. And they finally get the kill onto the Tusk. And now he's got to be pretty careful here because Tower's just about to fall. Ion Shawl going out on Cafu, and he's starting to stack strength after strength, but they don't have enough here to finally bring him down as he does TP back to the fountain. But this will be a tower. Meanwhile, up on top, Oi falling pretty quick as Theron still with the Flame Guard. Lina throwing out the Light Strike Array does get the stun, and that will be yet another kill here for the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, huge lead from T-Show in this early game. Taking that early tower, getting lots of kills. I don't know what Dex is going to do. They might have to reevaluate how they want to fight this.
Dunna getting gone on here. Charge is coming out as well, but he's coming all the way from the fountain. It might be a little too late.
Shadow Fiend has a fair amount of souls too, so even after his death earlier, he's coming back a little bit. No stacks for him so far in the smaller camps. Some of his teammates could be stacking camps for him to really accelerate his farm. He's going to be really important. He only has boots and bottle, 6 minutes 30. Lina doesn't have too much either, but she wasn't mid originally. And Templar already has Aquila and brown boots and bottle, and she's got a stack. Her team has stacked some of the camps for her, which is really strong. She's going to be able to accelerate her farm and really get a lead, maybe get an early Blink Dagger if she wants it.
Take a look into the jungle here. We have Loverboy diving pretty hard against Kingrad as Ice Shards do come out. He's falling pretty low, no more Ion Shell. Does have the bottle, and he's going to surge himself right back out as Cafu does manage to heal him. And Loverboy, now out of mana, is going to have to rotate all the way back into Fountain.
Yeah, great play by Cafu and Kingrid. Good jukes on Kingrid. I mean, they were nothing, you know, crazy, but they did the job. Spearbreaker charging mid. Backs off.
And they're just starting to rotate lanes here for T-Show as Lina's now taking up home mid on mid here, almost about to hit level 5. As I mean, she's supporting in this team along with the Undying, and she's had a pretty comfortable time. She's now level 5, almost going to hit her 6, well above the Winter Wyvern.
That's a dead gyro.
Meanwhile, down on bottom, Undying getting that gyro pickup, and they might even look to start pushing this even more. Ion Shell doing so much work, but it is Kingrid. That is pretty low, so they're going to have to play it pretty safe. But almost level 8 here for the Darkseer. And they do spot out Oi, but yeah, going to be a little too late here as Loverboy does rotate in, finally getting the kill on the Darkseer. And
Cafu just hiding.
Definitely going to be feeling pretty good with that return kill from Loverboy. He's pretty angry against that Darkseer, and they might even pick up even more here. Cafu running pretty low here. Has a strength still here, coming up in 1 second, but too little too late as Tusk picks up yet another kill, so that'll be 2 for him in that little exchange. And he finally gets some payback here on the Darkseer and the Undying.
Yeah, you mentioned the Spiritbreaker earlier. He's only got 6 last hits, very little gold to his name, barely brown boots, still has 7 tangos he hasn't used, and no kills or assists, so he is starved. He really needs to be participating in some of this.
Yeah, just taking a look at the hero levels right now. I mean, Shadow Fiend 8 and tied with the TA. Ember doing quite well at level 8 himself, but like we said, it's Oi and Marco running pretty low. Meanwhile, on mid, Dunna getting gone on here. Charge coming out as well. Walrus Punch to secure the kill on him, but Undying does pick up the Shadow Fiend as the Tombstone comes out. Throws out the ultimate, but 3 have rotated in. They do clean up the Tombstone, so it'll be a 1-for-1, just both mids going down. Strength Steal coming out like crazy onto Marco. And he's still only level 4. He needs to play it pretty safe. Charge up in another second here, but Therence does rotate in.
Therence going for that same build as before. He's got the Aquila, he's got the Poor Man's Shield, so this is right around the time they started to really fight and get really aggressive on Dex. So we'll see if they do that again. If they do, it might spell trouble for Dex if they're not ready. Spiritbreaker is 4 levels behind Ember. He's at the bottom of the chart, unfortunately. I mean, let's stop slamming on this Spiritbreaker. Let's talk about somebody else who's at the bottom on T-Show. Lina, yeah, I know, I feel like I'm being a jerkwad. Lina's only got brown boots and a magic wand and nothing else. Let's see where her hits and denies are at. 19 and 3 is still not that bad, so I don't know.
The main difference with Lina is that she's about ready to crack her 6, and that's going to be pretty strong, especially as she's coming in here, basically supporting with the Undying. So she's had quite an easy time as they've basically given her solo farm after the first 4 minutes.
Yeah, she can crack that ult on Spiritbreaker and pretty much ruin his day. That's around half of his hit points, so...
Meanwhile, down on bottom, it will be Therence coming in here with Kingrid. And there's the Ion Shell combo. They haven't used it quite yet, but they're going to go deep here onto Loverboy as Remnant is thrown out. Hasn't even used the Remnant or the Flame Guard yet. There it goes. Charge coming out as well. Oi throwing out the Frostburn. Needs to be careful. Loverboy running pretty low here. Vacuum Wall being used. Double Bulls going out. They need to be careful here. As Theron's running pretty low.
He threw out that Flame Guard at a great time, though, right before the Walrus Punch.
Indeed. Yeah, it looks like they're just going to get back here, but it will be Sono rotating in here. Tombstone being expended, but Sono getting a beautiful raise here to finally take out the Ember Spirit. And they might as well just crack down. Looks like they're just going to run away from this Tombstone. They don't want to deal with it at all. Sono running pretty low, but should be able to just clean up the zombies and be just fine. Meanwhile on mid, Dunna pushing pretty hard on this tower, running pretty quick.
And a big whiff call down on top, unfortunately. They were going on the Lena, but didn't really work out.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Darkseer well on his way to his mechanism.
Yeah, he's getting in pretty close. Already has the mana boots as well, so Guardian Greaves should be coming online here probably within the next, I don't know, give or take 8 minutes. And that's just going to tank him up even more in an already tanky
Radiant's
team.
middle tower has been denied.
Shadow Fiend denying the T1 mid tower, so, you know, a little bit of hope there, but this is kind of turning into what was game number one. Not as strong of a lead coming out for T showed early on with this Ember Spirit, but nonetheless, I mean, Templar's already got her Power Tread, she's got her Bottle and Ring. What do you think she's going to go for? Is she going to pick up that early Desolator, or is she going to want that Blink here pretty quick?
I think she's going to want Blink. I think with Ember being so mobile, adding Templar Assassin to be so mobile, it'll be just as good.
And she does rotate up top here, as they want to go onto Loverboy. Trap being thrown out to slow him down, but nothing really going to come out of it. They were going on the Lena, and she managed to TP home, so...
Yeah.
Nothing gained, nothing lost, really.
And Spiritbreaker just kind of hiding in the trees here. He's getting close to cracking that 6, so that might become helpful eventually. And he just smoked. I guess he's just smoking his allies, and he'll charge out. We'll see.
Dex playing it pretty cautious here, as a Bounty Rune does come out.
Dire's
Needs to play it safe, as they will see Sono come out with that vision. And it looks like they're pinging on that T1 mid here. They need to take something. They need to capitalize on something, because it's going to slowly run out of hand as the heroes for T-Show, once you give them a lead, they're going to use that lead to their advantage quite strongly. So starting to push here as they are smoked up. Finally breaks onto Dunna. Doesn't have his Blink Dagger yet. And Charge does come out. Do they have any reveal here, though? If she does go, doesn't matter. She is going to be dead.
Yeah, they didn't need it. They just bursted her down so quickly.
And smoke coming out from T-Show as well as... Always going to drop pretty quick here from Zai, even though she does manage to get off the ultimate. As Sono throws off Requiem himself, does clean up on the darks here. Tombstone going out, and they want to focus it down here really quick, but Lena throws off the Laguna Blade, and Ember Spirit actually picking up the kill here onto Tusk. Marco throwing out the ultimate, as Call Down does come on top of Cafu, and they're going to want to chase down this kill, but I don't think they can go really too far, as that will be a 3-for-2 trade, and, you know, picking up the darks here, picking up the TA, it's a pretty good engagement for Team Dexterity to come around on that to save the Wyvern.
Yeah, that was a strong re-engagement by Dex. I think they played it safe, they played it slow, they didn't panic. The Requiem on the side of Sono, hitting a lot of the enemy heroes, doing a lot of damage from the sidelines. I think that was the clutch play of that fight there.
Yeah, for sure. And Shadow Fiend actually coming on top of net worth here, as he has invested himself all the way up to 6k, well above everybody else, apart from the Templar. So a little bit of life coming from Dexterity this time, and this is where the usefulness of the Shadow Fiend comes out. His right click is just so strong, and you know, you get off a good Requiem where nobody's really paying attention, as he did in the trees here. And he was just able to clean up the darks here, and that pushes him right ahead. As yet another smoke coming out here, as Oi, Marco, and Loverboy do look to rotate in on mid.
Nice big Ancient stack for Templar to be working on, or Ember to help her out with.
Under attack.
Ember rotating up top, so this is free game for them right now, as Dunna's currently focused on taking down the Ancient stack, and they do actually spot her out, as Tusk does come in with a snowball as well as the charge. Punch going out. Dust expended as well, they do see her. And they do finally clean up the kill. Spiritbreaker getting that one, but Darkseer does take the Wyvern and the Spiritbreaker himself. Lena finishing off the Tusk with the Laguna Blade, and they look to save mid as well. So ends up trading the TA for 3 of their own, as Dexterity wanting to get the jump here on the core heroes, but trading their lives for it.
Dire's top tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
Undying kept Templar Assassin and the shield of Templar Assassin kept her alive for a really long time. If they could have gotten that and gotten out quickly, it might have been more of a successful gank, but Undying keeping Templar alive, the shield keeping her alive, and everyone just kind of in the area to respond.
Another stack coming out here, and this is going to increase their farm for quite a bit here. Taking a look at net worth, T-Show in the lead again, not as drastically as last time, sitting about a 3k net worth lead.
Spiritbreaker hitching a ride on Undying. They're just kind of checking out the Roche pit. I don't think they're actually going to get it anytime soon. Just keeping their vision open.
Yeah, they have everything pretty well spotted out here.
Dire's
Look at the
middle
vision
tower is under
for the
attack.
side of the Dire. It's
Radiant's
quite a bit.
top
They have
tower is under
pretty much
attack.
this whole river by Roche warded out quite fine, and Creep's Wave pushing pretty hard as well. So, meanwhile in mid, Shadow Fiend wanting to take down that tower, but Therence looks like he's going to want to go Bolus onto this, and TP gets out. Charge coming in just for sure measure, and they don't manage to bring down Sono, but this gives them an opportunity to do what they want, as TA will finish off this Ancient stack. That's a ton of gold for her, as she does propel herself almost to the same net worth as the Shadow Fiend.
And Shadow Fiend has a Yasha. He might be going SNY, or, I mean, I've seen Manta.
Meanwhile, down on bottom, Laguna Blade going out on Loverboy yet again, but he will actually clean up the kill onto the Lina. Darkseer picking up the kill on the Gyrocopter. They've spotted out Loverboy, so it will be a 2-for-1 trade. Lina's still just a support, though. I mean, they're focusing on her so hard and wanting to secure that kill. Meanwhile, in the river, Dunna getting charged as well. She's been dusted. She's falling pretty low. This probably will be a kill. Marcus does have his ult, and he will crack it to secure the kill on the TA.
That's a 2-for-2. Kind of.
Overall a 2-for-2, but this Gyro has kind of been falling quite a bit here. As
He's only got drums and Aquila.
he's 2, 3, and 3. Drums and Aquila, has the power treads online, but almost level 11. But I don't see his team doing a ton of stacks here for the farm for him. I mean, TA just got, what was that, ended up being a 4 or 5 stack by the end of it when she finished it off.
She's only 300 away from Deso.
Yeah. It's a lot of farm to her, as well as the Ember Spirit. Has picked up his TP boots, and 1100 in the bank. He might pick up that Battle Fury Nexus. He does have a DD online here. Needs to be careful. He does Remnant all the way back after that Arctic Burn, and you know what? He'll just TP home.
Yeah, those boots give him a lot of mobility, so he's going to be able to find farm and escape wherever he wants. He's probably the hardest character on the team of T-Show to kill. Did he just swap bottle? Or was he just giving charges? I think he was just giving charges. Yeah, he just gave a charge.
Guardian Greaves coming out here for the Darkseer, so as we said before, that's going to make them even tankier, as they just can't seem to finish off a lot of these kills. They get a couple trades like on the Lina and whatnot, but the main heroes that they need to take down are not falling before they do. As Dunna cleaning up, get another stack of Ancients here, and that should be her Desolator.
It's interesting that he goes TP boots before Battle Fury, but he's got the Ion Shells to help him out, and he's obviously got the room to farm and is feeling confident about it, so.
Makes him that much more mobile. I mean, you can just jump around the map. Already back up to top tower. They still haven't secured themselves a tower here on Team Dex, and charge going out onto Therence himself, as they do have 3 up top. Doesn't know it quite yet.
There they go.
Remnant all the way
Zips
across.
away.
Dire's top tower is
This
under
might be a
attack.
tower here for top, so they might finally get something done here.
Dire's
Looking to
structures
get a
are
little bit of extra,
fortified.
but looks like they're going to be trading the Roshan, as Deso now completed on Dunna, so this should be a pretty quick Rosh, as really no great vision to contest it,
Dire's
as
top tower
they've invaded their
has
jungle as well. Therence and Kingard both here to kind of hold them at bay.
Yeah, this is going to be a little sneaky Roche. They lose top tower, but it's a fine trade for Roche, especially when they have the advantage in
Roshan
tower
has
department.
fallen to the Dire.
Guardian Greaves being
Dire's
expended
top
as
tower
well,
is
and
under attack.
you might see some sort of push here, even down on bottom, as the creeps basically all there ready for them, and tower already fallen under half, as TA wants to clean up a little bit of extra creep farm here. She doesn't have her blink quite yet, went for the Dessa route, so dealing damage, but not quite the mobility. They definitely need a good engagement here, and it looks like they are smoked up, as everybody else rotates in here, except for the Ember Spirit, but he can TP in as soon as he needs to.
Yeah, T-Show wants to fight this. They have Aegis, they have creep advantage, they have the Deso
Dire's
online
top tower
from
is
Templar
under
Assassin.
attack.
There are no real comparable
Radiant
items on the other
structures
team
are
in that
fortified.
against that Deso.
They've rotated basically everybody in on bottom, apart from the Shadow Fiend up on top, and he is shackled down. Laguna Blade coming up from Zai as he does rotate up on top, and that will secure the kill on the Shadow Fiend. Meanwhile, down on bottom, Call Down going out as Dunna still has the Aegis, hasn't died quite yet, and is healed up from the Guardian Grooves. Beautiful vacuum wall as the Winter's Curse does come out, but nothing really getting done as Razor falling pretty low. Huge hits coming out. And Dunna actually getting ulted on top from the Marco. Charge going out just to secure the stun on her. Aegis finally being expended, but here comes the Ember Spirit as he does rotate in. They still haven't taken anybody down yet, but this might be the point where they do. As Oi falling pretty low, still has the Cold Embrace coming up at 1, but does fall just before it comes online. Marco also pretty low as he will fall down to the TA. And this will be a tower for them. That's a 3-0. And there's not a lot they can do here. They might as well just rotate other lanes if they want to. Shadow Fiend's going to be coming up here pretty quick. They have decent high ground defense still with this call down as well as the Tusk. But with this newly acquired Deso, they might just look to push pretty hard. Dunna running pretty low here. Needs to be careful as Tusk coming with the Snowball does clean up the kill here. Ember Spirit getting a kill in the Gyrocopter as well as Lina on the Tusk. And now it's just Sono by himself. They do look to disengage. But that's 2 more kills here for just the TA.
Yeah, very similar to the last game where T-Show just kept going and Dex just couldn't find the right disengage or re-engage. Dex did a great job keeping that gyro alive for as long as he was, though. Before the T1 fell, or excuse me, T2 fell, they really kept him alive. It must have been the mech from Tusk. He must have been healing along with the Winter Wyvern. Yeah,
this is definitely going to be a hard comeback here for Team Dex. They've got quite a bit of farm here on the Shadow Fiend. Still top of net worth, but it's been pretty hard for him. Meanwhile, down in the river, Zai's going to fall to him, so Shadow Fiend getting even more. And what has he picked up? He's picked up a Sandra and Yasha here. He's got almost 3k. What do you see him going for next? I mean, the team fights are going on. He's got the damage. He's got the souls, but just not tanky enough.
I think he's going to want a BKB to stay alive. He just wants to walk in and right-click. Because he's got that S and Y. He wants to right-click people, so...
Unfortunately for him, BKB, when it comes online, Lina's probably going to pocket her Aghanim Scepter just in time. And that's going to be...
Has she already started building it? Oh, yeah, she has.
She's got half of it already, so by the time he finishes his BKB, it's going to choke him pretty hard.
Could be a Yule's then, if he's...
He could go for the Yule's for the mobility. Usually you want to see that come out first instead of the Sanjin Yasha, so we'll see how his build plays out, as he does have quite a bit of gold, but there's the Darks here. Extra mobility for him, coming out with the Blink Dagger.
Scotty. He's going to build a Scotty.
That could be it, too. Did he pick up the Ulti Orb?
No, I haven't seen him pick anything up yet, but he's got so much gold.
I definitely think he needs the tank ability. He's dying pretty quick when they do get the jump on him.
Looks like a Helm of Dom. Maybe he'll build into Satanic.
Yep. Let's go for the Helm of Dom. So, I mean, with that, stack his own creep camps if they need to, but I mean, Ember's just been so active here. Theron's running around the map, does have the Battle Fury now, so he's farming even quicker.
Yeah,
and
he's
they
just making so much work.
He's come all the way back here, just about 800, 900 shy here from the Shadow Fiend, so making his comeback for net worth. And once he's ahead of him, I think you're pretty much going to stay there as the rest of your team is basically on your heels.
Looks like they're going to smoke again, too. They're all grouped up. Yep, good smoke. They've got good vision in the jungle. They're going to push that bottom lane that they practically broke. Tower's still over 75%, but...
Quite yet. Throwing out the ward there.
Ember's showing himself on purpose. It looks like he wants to lure them in a little bit.
All of Team Dex still on the other side. But they're starting to rotate in. They might actually spot out Sona here. There is the Observer ward, and they do get vision on him. As Theron's jumping in, as well as Dunna blinking in. Call down coming out. It will hit on 2. Lina throwing out the Laguna Blade, forcing Sona all the way back, as this is kind of a scramble team fight here for both of them. As T-Show just kind of wanting to stay kind of comfortable, full mana, full health here.
That was an excellent zoning call down, but they need to capitalize on the fact that call down is now down now. It's not going to be down much longer, and they need to fight some more so that they don't get zoned again.
And it looks like they might just have to give this one up, as they definitely want to go in on them, but to what avail, as you know, Dunna does finally blink out. And yeah, Darkseer's waiting for that initiation. He does have Vacuum Wall. Still has the Guardian Greaves online too, so definitely still lots of tank coming out from either team.
Yeah, they're just kind of slow sieging at this point.
Yeah. Mech has been built. Mech has been built. No, they don't.
No,
Mech's been built on the Tusk, so still tanky for Team Dex as well. Do spot out Cafu, but there's the vacuum into the wall. Winter's Curse coming out as well as the Requiem. They're doing a pretty good job of jumping on top of him. Walrus Punch coming out, and Gyro actually finishing off the Darkseer. But they already have lost 2 for just the Darkseer. Tombstone coming out. They are running pretty low. Shadow Fiend will pick up the kill onto the Lina, but Ember Spirit coming in to finish off the job. Charge coming out, and they might actually get Therence. They do. But the Shadow Fiend falling down to TA, so that will be a 4 for 3.
And a gyro buyback, actually, so...
TA still here, does have her Blink Dagger online in 3 seconds. Will he get the charge in time? And he does manage to get the hit off. No more shield for her either, and the... will come in waiting for one more barrage, and that should be it. He's not using it. Winks away.
Oh, and blows up the Spirit Breaker, but still dies.
That's unfortunate. No dust online there for either of them. And we'll trade the Spirit Breaker for the TA, but, you know, 4-4-2. Alive for pretty much most of that. And he's almost got his BKB as soon as he finishes off this wave.
I think
decent hold.
4-4-2 died and then bought back.
Decent hold for them nonetheless, though. They do manage to hold on to that T2 tower. And, you know, Shadow Fiend's still top of net worth. Let's take a look at the swings here. XP actually diving down into the way of Santos Dexterity. And take a look at net worth. Still about a 6k lead here for T-Show, but definitely a good trade for Team Dex.
Double damage!
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, that was a long, slow engagement. I'm not sure where it went wrong for T-Show. I think they came off a little worse for wear in that fight. You could consider it even if you like, but it looked like Darkseer had a great blink initiation vacuum wall, but I don't know. Maybe it was the Winter's Curse that came on that just brought them all down so close in the splinters.
The combination of the Winter's Curse and the call down pretty much got all of them. I think it hit on 4.
Okay.
And then it was just kind of split after that, but definitely a great initiation with the vacuum wall. But apart from that, I don't know. Dunna was able to pick up a couple kills, but basically she only got the Deso Strike on them, and she didn't deal a lot more damage after that, as basically everything was being used.
Yeah, ZY only a fair amount of gold away from Ags.
Meanwhile, up on top, smoke gone out. Charge was actually used here to go onto the Lina, but they don't have any extra vision here, and they don't know what's coming after them, so they do fall back. All 5 have rotated up top here, though. Still smoked up as well. Take a look at the Spirit Breaker. He's tanking up quite nice, actually. Does have the BKB. Now getting the Ogre Club. Probably into a Heaven's Halberd, you know, to save into save from this TA. She's dealing quite a bit of damage when she jumps online. Oh no. Needs to be careful here as Kingguard is spotted out. Charge going out, as well as the Arctic Burn. Stomp coming out from the Lina, but they do throw out the Winter's Curse. Call down coming out just to expend it. And Marco will throw out the Nether Strike to finish off the Darkseer.
Throw ult the out.
Throw ult the out.
TA just kind of putting a little bit of single player here at bottom, pushing in the lanes. They lose the Darkseer, but they still have a lot of map control. They're only 1 tower down. A lot of vision on the map for T-Show.
A lot of vision indeed. They don't have a lot of vision into the jungle as they do walk over a Radiant Observer ward, so they know what's coming in here. As Marco does look to get back. Loverboy waiting in the trees here, so they might look to re-engage on top of this. No, he's going to TP right back out. He wants to get out of there. Does not want to deal with this Ember Spirit, who is pretty farmed. With the Battle Fury, finally picks up a Crystallis of his own, and he'll be dealing quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, the Daedalus damage with the Battle Fury procs is going to be really nasty.
Take a look at Sono, picking up the Talisman. So
he might be building... Oh, that's going to be B-Fly, right?
Yep, going into Butterfly here, so... Wanting to hold off, not take as much damage, which is pretty good. I mean, they have a lot of single target hit here for T-Show. It's really just the magic damage he needs to be aware of. So, just needs the Eagle Song here. He's about 10k away, or 1k away, sorry. And it'll be pretty strong against that TA as well as the Ember Spirit, but, you know, the Lina threw out that Laguna Blade last engagement, and that brought him way below half, and he had to get all the way back, so... Definitely needs to be careful as she's now finished her Aghanim Scepter for the next team fight.
Yeah, he's pretty close to that Butterfly, though. He could flash farm that up if he wants.
Definitely think after he finishes this Butterfly, he should definitely go into the Scotty route to tank up. I mean, he's picked up that Helm, but I
Dire's
think he needs to
middle
stop at
tower
that
is under attack.
until later on in the game to finish
Dire's
that.
structures
Yeah,
are
that
fortified.
attack speed, man. That quarterstaff plus the Sanj and Yasha, just look how fast he's attacking. Jeez. Ooh, good
Light
stun.
strike, light strike away from Za.
No real follow-up, though.
No follow-up at all, as Darkseer and Cafu do come in, but do not want to engage on top of that.
Solar
Smoke
Crest.
from the Oi. As Arctic Burn being used here to hold on to Dunna, so she can't blink away, but she does have her shield up. Blinks up on top onto the river, but it will be Marco knocking her down. Expends the ult. Can they grab this DD before she gets it? BKB's being used. Lena throwing out the ult onto 442, but they're doing a lot of work here. A lot of damage. Dunna might actually be able to escape as Tombstone actually doing a ton of work to Sono here. Ember Spirit rotating in, throws off the bolus. Cold Embrace going out on Sono, keep him alive a little bit longer. Oi will fall. Walrus Punch going out into Kingguard, but Shadow Fiend finally falling. This is currently a 3-0, as they're going to turn this all the way around, take down the Tusk, and none of them dying. Dunna taking so much damage early on in that team fight. They're going to wipe Dex completely, as they do manage to find out the Spirit Breaker. None of them falling there, as they're just too tanky. I mean,
that was an amazing team fight from T-Show. They really spread out and played it really slowly, and the Darkseer wall vacuum with the combination of the Undying Tombstone was really strong, did a lot of work for them.
Definitely thought the TA was going to drop there early on in that engagement, but BKB's being blown right when Lena threw out the Laguna Blade, and they kind of played a little bit scared. And Undying threw out that Tombstone right in a perfect spot. Brought all of them down pretty low. This will be a free Rosh picked up by the TA, and they're probably going to look to break racks sometime soon, as none of them have fallen for quite some time now. Solar Crest coming out on the Undying to either tank up or draw down that Shadow Fiend even more.
Ember and TA at the top of the net worth, followed by Shadow Fiend and then Darkseer, so that's pretty rough on the side of Dex.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, they find out the Observer Ward, farming up a little bit more here. Gem onto the Lena as well as the Force Staff. Cafu doing pretty good, tanked up quite nicely. And Therence, now he's finished his Daedalus. That output damage is pretty intense. I don't know about Team Dex. I don't know how they're going to hold on to this one. They're doing pretty good in their engagements to begin with, but they just can't seem to lock them down and finish off. Like last engagement, they chased down this TA way too far and just not able to secure the kill.
Yeah, Spiritbreaker picks up his Sanj, so I think were you saying he was going to get the Heaven's Halberd?
Yep.
Or was that someone else?
Oh, that was me.
No, I mean another hero.
Radiant's
No,
middle tower
Marco
has
picking up the
been
Halberd for sure.
denied.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick. Makes him a little tankier. He gets to disarm people. He has a little bit of a mischance with the Talisman of Evasion to add to that, so...
Ember Spirit's going to go clear up top before they look to push this mid-racks. And once he clears that wave, Gyro's going to have to come all the way back.
And he can Remnant right back in. Gyro has a
Remnant right
TP
back in.
though, so...
They're going to clear up this Ancient Stack right here. As MKB finished for the TA, she's putting out so much damage. Currently right now, she's hitting for roughly about 370.
Wow. Gyro picks up a Demon Edge, so he might be going for MKB or...
Watch out for the Courier. They don't see her come in, and she does manage to pick it off. What was on the cargo for that thing? Nothing.
Says worth nothing, so...
Nothing on the Courier. They were going for it, just to go straight to the Secret Shop. And it could be a huge item here for the Shadow Fiend, as he did have 3,500 in the bank. And that, you know what? That was going to be the Eagle Song for the Butterfly.
Yeah, it was.
That's a big pickoff, but you know what? Not going to do much because the TA already has the MKB. She saw him building it, so they're going to look to go rotate down on bottom. They might actually get a quick pick here on top of 442 as he's falling pretty low. Call down coming out, but the shield from Dunna will save her from basically all of her life. Look at the crit damage coming out on top of Oi.
Under attack.
And they're going to storm uphill here. She has the Aegis. Theron's jumping right back in. Wyvern having to buy back already as he does drop. Glyph being expended before they even start tacking down this tower. And everybody rotating in. They need to be careful on this one. They need to get a perfect engagement from all of their carries if they're going to be able to survive for this game number 2. Missile coming out onto Dunna. Will deter them for just a little bit longer before the creep wave does actually meet up with them. And look for that vacuum wall coming in. Kingred sitting on the side, has Greaves back up. Donna jumping forward on top of 442. He's falling pretty low. Tuss jumping in with the snowball as well as the punch. Donna falling pretty low, still has the Aegis online. They're expending everything on her before she goes down. Zai throwing out a huge Laguna Blade onto Marco. He's going to have to escape back, and there's the vacuum plus the wall. That's a double kill on top of the Ender Spirit. Undying picking up the kill on the Shadow Fiend. They're going to chase down 442. Unfortunately not able to get it. Look at Theron's run pretty low here from the Winter's Curse. Great Winter's Curse, but just not enough. And no buyback here from anybody on Team Dexterity, as it's just the Gyro and the Winter Wyvern. This will be a set of racks, if not more.
So strong patience on the side of T-Show, waiting to expend the Aegis. Kingred on the Darkseer really hanging out in the wings, waiting for the perfect time to bring in that vacuum wall. He didn't want to use it too early because then Dex would just disengage. It was very smart play for the whole of the team.
Middle tower has fallen.
And they're going to clean up mid racks here, and it's looking like a GG call is going to be coming out here pretty quick, as their 20k net worth lead as well as 20k in experience. Laguna Blade coming out to secure the kill on Gyrocopter yet again. And yeah, net worth for the Ember Spirit is over 20k, and there's just nothing they can do about him anymore, let alone the TA. Splinter Blast coming out from Void to deter them as long as they can. Marco throwing out the ultimate, and GG's finally called, as there's nothing they can do to Team T-Show. Dominating performance from them as they take game number 2 here in the South America JD Season 8. Definitely quite a game here.
Casual Nidus from Lena at the end.
Quite a game here for Team T-Show. We're first in game 1, really dominating, running over them right away with that Ember Spirit, and took a little bit longer on this game, going 36 minutes, but yet again, Ember going 12, 3, and 18, had a definite dominating performance. So that'll wrap up this 2-game series here between T-Show and Team Santos Dexterity. Thanks for everybody coming and watch out on the stream. If you like the stream, follow us on Twitch and Twitter. I'm at SubZeroDota, and you can follow the rest of us at NMMDota. Thanks, 71, for co-casting with me tonight.
Thank you for having me. Thank you all for watching.
And we'll see you sometime in the near future, casting yet another joinDOTA League. Have a good night, everyone.